Welcome back everyone to another one of my Fallout Shelter Blabathons featuring yours truly. Today, since I've already given you an overview of my time with the Fallout series, I've decided that today I'm going to cover my feelings about Fallout 3 and all the notable moments that come to mind just as I assemble this video. Also, hoping you're enjoying the music in the background because I'm going to be taking tracks from Fallout 3 only today so that we can fit with the topic. So, Fallout 3 is my first step into the wonderfully dark world of Fallout. I'm embarrassed to say that it took me nearly 2 years since my first playthrough to realize that the character of your dad in this game is voiced by the legendary Liam Neeson, someone I'm proud to share a first name with. Anyway, I felt exceptionally stupid when I didn't realize it sooner, and it's something I'll probably never live down in my Fallout career. The start of this game introduces the basics of 3D Fallout in a unique way that I really liked. It starts with your birth, and your character creator comes in the form of a device that can project what you'll look like in the future. It's a bit more creative than just standing in front of someone and morphing into various people like some kind of bizarre skinwalker. After that, Liam Neeson discusses what makes every person special, thus introducing the special system to the player. In case you don't know, special is just an acronym for the stats the player character has in Fallout. It stands for strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, and agility and luck. These all have unique purposes for your character build, but I like they were presented through a children's book in the game, fitting with your character's age at the time. After that, you just have the story beats that get you out of the vault essentially and provide you with your first choices that affect things down the line. Now, leaving the vault gave me some mixed feelings. It was oddly uncomfortable since the start of the game builds up how much safer the vault was when compared to the outside world. Even with that unease, adjusting to the sunlight for the first time and seeing the irradiated waste was breathtaking, even if the graphics are a bit dated at this point. The world expanded all around me, and there were seemingly limitless places to go, landmarks in the distance, creatures roaming the wastes, and here I was with some base gear and a 10mm pistol. I decided to play it straight and follow the quest indicator to go to Megaton, a city nearby. This city was overwhelming at first. I loved meeting all the unique residents and doing a bunch of starter quests out of here. But when I do say overwhelming, I just mean in the design of the city. It's built into the impact crater of a bomb, so everything is on a slope and most areas look the same, so I frequently found myself getting lost. My favorite early on quests here were the ones from Moira Brown, working on her Wasteland Survival Guide, a book that actually pops up in New Vegas. I love trekking out of the relative safety of Megaton to go scavenge a super duper mart and get more acquainted with the culture and style of the world. I quickly found that raiders are a thing and that they are exactly as Mad Max as I expected. Gathering weapons and looting their bodies became a regular gameplay loop, and I gradually built up some cash. I felt like a good grind alongside the story I was following. Once I ventured into the ruins of DC, I felt like I was almost playing a different game. Super mutants roamed the ruins and did battle with the Brotherhood of Steel soldiers as I made my way to my destinations. These sections, while not linear at all, definitely felt like more of a traditional fast-paced shooter despite Fallout 3's shooting mechanics. I like the variety, but also long for the open world experiences again. Fallout 3's story takes you all over the capital wasteland, and I frequently found myself pulled off the beaten path regularly just by wanting to explore areas, which then organically led me to even more new areas. This was a great feeling from this game, as very few things felt contrived, or if I was being forced into a certain direction. There was a huge deal of freedom with this game up until the end, which first go around honestly sucked balls. It wasn't until the Broken Steel DLC that the end of the game became more bearable, because before that, whew, that was not my favorite ending. Going back to the Wasteland, there is so much to explore that even after I've been playing the game for a couple of years, I would find new areas and questlines that I had never known to exist in my numerous previous playthroughs. I bet if I went back, I'd still find more stuff I either didn't remember or didn't notice before. I love that this game can still surprise me with these things. While there are definite story beats I'll have to progress through each time, knowing that there's something out there I've never seen before is honestly making me want to go back and try different things, explore more, and see literally every square inch of the capital wasteland. The northern sections of the map were very interesting, and that's where I had most of my free-thinking exploration on my most recent playthroughs. The story never really puts you up there, so exploring it all unprompted was a great feeling. The only things I can really complain about with this game are basic things. Graphics aren't great, of course I thought they were back then. The loot table's a bit sparse, and in all honesty, there are some weapons that you can get early on that you'll literally use for the rest of the game. Endgame loot isn't really too much of a thing. The shooting mechanics, as I mentioned in my last video, aren't great. I really wish you could properly aim in, but it's just zooming in a little more. No iron sights. And lastly, the pit was the only DLC I didn't really care for. First couple times, it was great. Getting to see Pittsburgh and all its irradiated and mutated glory was honestly scary the first time. But since there's only 2 quest lines there, going back more than that isn't really worth it. Speaking of the DLCs, aside from Broken Steel, every DLC for the game is very linear. I know I mentioned before that that feeling was there in the ruins in small bits, but for some of these you literally have one path. The pit has a set path with very mild divergence. Operation Anchorage is literally a war simulation in the Fallout universe where you're stuck with whatever path you're given, and Mothership Zeta has you trapped on a spaceship with basically no diverging paths, just different orders to complete them in if you want. Overall, Fallout 3 is an exceptional title, 9 out of 10 for me. It was a great introduction for teenage me into the Fallout universe, and I still say it stands up today. The story is great, the voice acting is good enough for the time, the kill, loot cycle is enjoyable, and there are genuine moments of difficulty in some areas. If you like open world games, this is for you. If you like a quality story with some shooting and action, then this is also for you. If you just want a great gaming experience and completely trust my opinions on this as being objectively correct and 100% fact, then this is also for you. Fallout 3 will remain one of my favorite games of all time, primarily because more modern games anymore kinda suck ass. So with that, I thank you for listening to my Blabathon. If you played Fallout 3, what do you think of it? Am I right or am I right? No further answers will be tolerated, except that yes, they will be. Hopefully, if you haven't tried it, I've convinced you all to do so. So I've been your host, Doodleman149. You've all been awesome, never forget that. And until next time, I will see you later.